Gospodi pomiluj, Gospodi pomiluj, Gospodi pomiluj, Vladiko svjati blagoslovi.
Christ our God, bless the food and drink of us, your servants, the hands which have made and prepared it, and those of us who partake of it at this gathering of love in honor of the feast of the great Saint Irenaeus of Lyon. You alone are holy and blessed, now and ever and unto ages. Acquainted.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are young and free, with gold and soil and wealth for toil. Our home is loved by sea, our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains and let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Bože, pravde ti što spase od propasti dosad nas, čuj i odsad naše glase i odsad nam budi spas. Moćnom rukom vodi brani, budućnosti srce brod. Bože spasi, Bože brani, srpske zemlje, srpski rod. Srbiju nam Bože brani, molim ti se sav naš rod.
Prijatnog apetita, bon appetit, kalisasorek, si popta buna, enjoy.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Serbian Orthodox Metropolitanate of Australia and New Zealand, we would like to officially welcome you to the inaugural Metropolitanate Day and the Bishop's Patron Saint Day celebration of Saint Irenaeus of Lyon. Tonight truly is a celebration. It's a testament to the night that so many from a variety of different walks of life have come together for a common cause. As well as hearing from important members of the Serbian community and distinguished guests from the wider Australian community, we are lucky enough to have a range of extraordinarily talented performers here tonight, among them cellist Alexander Jugovic, actor and singer and songwriter Ursula Jovic, and soprano Eze Juliana Ikovic. please have your attention for just one moment? I'd like to welcome to the stage for our first address of the evening for an introductory word from the Member for Vaucluse and Parliamentary Secretary for Tertiary Education and Skills, the Honourable Gabriel Upton MP.
His Grace, the Right Reverend Irinej, Bishop of the Metropolitanate of Australia and New Zealand of the Serbian Orthodox Church. To distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, one and all, dame y gospodo, braćo y sestre. It is a great privilege to address you tonight at this Metropolitanate Day event that celebrates Saint Irenaeus of Lyon, the patron saint of the Serbian Orthodox Church in Australia and New Zealand, and the establishment of the new unified Metropolitanate of the Serbian Orthodox Church. Congratulations. I speak tonight as a member and representative of the O'Farrell Government in New South Wales, and I'm pleased to do so. But I'm also here tonight as a member of the Serbian community through my husband Alex and his family. Over 20 years ago, I was married in St. Lazarus Church, Larica, and my children were later baptised there. And as a member of your community, I've had the pleasure of knowing His Grace, Bishop Irinej, Father Rade, and other members of the Serbian Orthodox clergy in Sydney over many years. I have seen firsthand the important work that they do in the community, including providing care for the aged, education, and raising desperately needed aid for the Serbian homeland. I thank them all for their tireless efforts on all our behalf. There are approximately 100,000 people of Serbian ancestry in Australia. And like many of you here tonight, my husband's family first immigrated to Australia just after World War II. His dad Miloš arrived alone in Sydney in 1950, followed by Milena and two beautiful teenage daughters, Dragana, my mother-in-law, and Nada in 1955. Now, sadly, many of that first generation of immigrants left their beloved Serbia and were never able to return. They came to Australia, let us not forget, not by choice or by economic opportunity, but through political exile from a totalitarian regime. The Australia they came to in the 1940s and 1950s was, of course, very different to the one we know well today. Life was hard, and society was not tolerant of ethnic diversity. In spite of these challenges, those first migrants set about building a new life for themselves in Australia. They lost their country in a very real sense, but they set about recreating the best aspects of what they had lost in the diaspora. Most significantly, this led to the establishment of the Serbian Orthodox churches in Australia and New Zealand. And since that time, the Serbian Orthodox Church has played an essential role in bringing people together and providing the spiritual, social, and cultural nourishment necessary to sustain such a rich community that we see here tonight. Through its holy sacraments, commemoration of saints, and the celebration of all of our slavas, The Church has defined what is uniquely Serbian, particularly for those born in Australia and those, like me, who were not born of Serbian ancestry. The Church has also been an agent for unifying the Serbian community and a force for good works in Australia. And as successive waves of Serbian migrants have washed onto these Australian shores, the Church has been a refuge, offering comfort and familiarity. Indeed, the more the material world throws to us, and the more challenges we have, the more we need the Church's timeless wisdom based on teachings of our Lord. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, and so it is only left for me tonight, on behalf of the New South Wales Government, to congratulate His Grace, Bishop Irinej, on the establishment of the new unified Metropolitanate of the Serbian Orthodox Churches in Australia and New Zealand, and to offer my best wishes to His Grace and the clergy here with us tonight as they continue their holy mission in this country. I would also like to thank the organising committee for this wonderful event tonight that we have only begun to see unfold. Looking around tonight, I can't help but think how proud those early Serbian migrants, Deda Miloš, Baba Milena, and all our Babas and Dedas would be, and how wonderful it would be if they could see us here tonight. Through their sacrifices, the Serbian community has indeed come a long way in Australia. Dame I Gospodo, braćo i sestre, hvala što sam pozvana večeras i svima želim prijatno večer.
Now, for our second performance this evening, we'll again be fortunate enough to hear from St Lazarus Church Children's Choir. Please put your hands together and give them a warm round of applause for St Lazarus Church Children's Choir.
Celebrati.
Your Grace, Your Excellency Ms. Nida Malitek, Ambassador from the Republic of Serbia, Your Excellency Mr. Branko Radjevic, Consul General, and Mr. Vasilios Tolias, Consul General of Greece, eminent church leaders, my state and federal parliamentary colleagues, councillors, other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I begin my few moments with you this evening by recognising that we gather on the land of the traditional owners, the Gadigal people, the first peoples of this land. I pay my respects to them past and present. This is an important tradition and one that should be observed. We honour the oldest continuous culture in humanity. It is my great privilege to be here this evening to share some thoughts with you on your Metropolitanate Day. I delivered the congratulations and best wishes from John Robertson, the leader of the New South Wales opposition. I also thank Serbian Orthodox Bishop Irinej for your kind invitation. This is a proud and momentous occasion for the Serbian Orthodox Church. Though today is the third Metropolitanate Day, it is the first year in which you, the Australian Church, unify with your brothers and sisters from across the Tasman. For all our friendly rivalry, of course, particularly in the sporting arena with New Zealand, Australia holds New Zealanders very close. They are our extended family, and likewise. The recent earthquake in Christchurch brought this home more than before. And of course, Australia has such a shared history, particularly in conflict situations, and of course, Gallipoli with New Zealand. And like New Zealand, Australia has a very similar history, including a very bloody colonial era. We share much with our brothers and sisters from New Zealand or Aotearoa. Now, the Serbian Orthodox churches in Australia and New Zealand have moved to formalise your relationships. The decision, I know, is a product of much hard work, much consideration, much prayerful consideration about the future of the church in this region and of the world. I'm sure a new unified metropolitate, I can't say that very well, but I'll get it, will play an important role in bringing the Serbian diaspora just a little bit closer. Today is an important occasion for all people of Serbian heritage. It's an important occasion for all of us. It is also an opportunity to reflect, everyone, on the place Serbia and her people have played in building our country, our collective country. I'm sure all of you here today hold a special place for Serbia inside your heart. Long must that be cherished. As an Aboriginal person, I know how vividly our history shapes our identity. We're all proud Australians, bold and optimistic about the future, but must never ever forget where we came from and what makes us. It's what shapes you all. It's what shapes us. This is such an important part of who we are and what we must remember. The story of migration, of course, is often a story of hope. And here this evening, whether you're here as your first generation or been here for many generations, there is someone in your family history that took a momentous and perhaps not a decision they had a lot of control of, to leave behind the familiar, often hardship and conflict, and journey across the seas in search of another life. It is an absolutely monumental thing to do. And of course, the story of this country, of Australia, is a story of migration by the First Peoples. At some point, every generation other than Aboriginal people have migrated to this country. It is the story of Australia. Thousands of people of Serbian origin in Australia today have brought with you your unique stories to these shores, your loves and your passions and your hopes. Some of you came as displaced people after World War II, as Gabriel just spoke about. Others to escape economic turmoil in the former Yugoslavia during the 60s and 70s. Or that terrible war we all know so well, the Civil War of the 90s. Over the decades, Australia has shone as a beacon for all who seek a new start. Today we can reflect on our society with pride a bustling, heaving city of 4 million people, a state of 7 million. When we consider the turmoil in today's world of war, civil unrest, natural disaster, and of course famine in Africa, economic stagnation in America and Europe, let us give thanks to that here in Australia, we're not immune from the world's troubles. We are more or less get things right. This is my first opportunity to address the Serbian community on behalf of the leader John Robertson of the Labour Party. And I say to you most humbly and most sincerely, it is a great honour to be here. The vibrant ethnic communities of our state will always be a proud friend of New South Wales Labour. In Australia we have a well-entrenched separation between church and state, yet religious faith is an indispensable part of our fabric. It instills values, gives citizens a sense of obligation to each other, and a sense we are all on the planet as part of something larger. I'm sure the Serbian Orthodox Church will continue to inspire and enrich the spiritual lives of its congregation and those around it, as it will continue its tradition of good works in our community. On an occasion like tonight, we give thanks that we can gather together, share stories, share memories, and have some laughs. To enjoy the wonderful food and the virtuoso performances from talented musicians in the Serbian Australian community, and those wonderful children we just saw. But most of all, to step back from our hectic day-to-day existence, and here and now, and reflect as we all must on the deeper spiritual direction of our lives. I wish you all well from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you once again to Universe Convent.
Dame i gospodo, mezzo-soprano Miljana Nikolić završila je studij u Beogradu, u čijem je nacionalnom teatru i debitovala. Usavršavanje je nastavila u čuvenoj Milanskoj skali. Dobitnik je više nagrada, između ostalih nagradu za najboljeg solistu Nikole Cvjetića u Novom Sadu. Posle sjajnih uloga u Južnoj Koreji, Hong Kongu, Sardini i u Poljskoj dobila nagradu i priznanje u Krakovu. 2006. godine počinje saradnju sa Australijskom operom.
To look at a presentation that's been put together for His Grace, and it's an opportunity to find out a little bit more about where he's come from people that have known him best, and see a little bit more about his time in Chicago.
Chicago, Chicago, that toddling town. Chicago, Chicago, I will show you around.
Drago mi je da mogu da pozdravim Srbe Australije i Novog Zelanda i čestitam eparhijski dan, ovu proslavu koja je značajna za našu crkvu, ali isto tako od srca i sa bratskom ljubavlju upućujem čestitke duhovnom pastiru i ocu Srba Australije, vladici Irineju. Čestitam mu petogodišnjicu ustoličenja u tron episkopa australijskih i novozelandskih, kao i promociju ove eparhije i uzdizanje njeno na stepen mitropolije. Dobro se sećam ustoličenja vladike Irineja pre 5 godina kad sam i ja učestvovao i velikog očekivanja i ljubavi i radosti naroda koji ga je dočekao. Svojim radom prosvećeni vladika, meni je to drago da je ne samo produžio posao drugih episkopa, nego je mnogo unapredio. I u ovom slučaju može da se kaže slobodno da je Bog u pravo vreme na pravo mesto odredio odgovarajuće ljude. Od srca čestitam vladici, želim mu mnogo Božje pomoći naših svetaca iz roda našeg, da i dalje produži sa istom revnošću, sa istom ljubavlju i strpljenjem, da napasa pastu svoju na tom kontinentu. Čestitam našem narodu unapređenje, kao što rekao, crkve na stepen mitropolije, i ovo činim u ime moje eparhije odavde iz Čikaga i iz grada u kome je vladika Irinej radio, službovo i Bogu se molio, iz mesta koje on dobro poznaje i gde njega ljudi poznaju, vole i uvek sa ljubavlju njemu govore. Svi mu želimo puno uspeha, naravno zajedno sa svojim sveštenicima, sa narodom, i duboko verujemo da će naša crkva u Australiji dočekati još puno radosti, puno lepih događaja. A najviše se molimo ovde u Novoj Gračanici i mi Srbi koji živimo u Americi za mir, slogu i jedinstvo našeg naroda na tom kontinentu. Dolgodenstvuj, sveti vladiko, na mnogaja ljeta i živjeli naša braća Srbi i Srpkinje Australije, Novog Zelanda i šire.
I congratulate you not only on my own behalf, but on behalf of all the brother hierarchs here in the United States and Canada, and most especially all your fellow alumni from Saint Irenaeus. And we're very proud to claim you as one of our alumni, as our friend, and as our brother. We ask God's grace on you, that He might prosper the work of your hands, and that you in your holy prayers might remember all of us here in the United States and Canada. God be with you, your grace. God bless you and grant you many years.
Vaše preosveštenstvo u ime sveštenstva i naroda ove zajednice pri Sabornom hramu u Čikagu, gde ste vi nekad služili, koristim ovu priliku da vam čestitam eparhijske dane i petogodišnjicu postavljenja na tron episkopa mitropolije Australijsko-Novozelandske, da vam kažemo ono što vi sigurno već znate, a to je da ste nama, sveštenicima, zadali visok standard pastirskog rada i brige za ovim narodom, a da ste narodu ostali i uvek ćete biti najradosnijim sećanjem ove budućnosti.
You were a star that came out of Saint Irenaeus Seminary. Your spirit was contagious. Your love for people was incredible. It was Christ-like. We miss you here in America. I'm sure that wonderful things are happening now in the new Metropolitanate and the old Diocese of Australia and New Zealand. May God give you good health, continued progress in His vineyard as an archpastor and hierarch of our Serbian Orthodox Church. Your commitment to Christ, your love of God has poured into the hearts and souls and veins of so many people.
Vaše preosveštenstvo, primite od mene i moje porodice srdačnu čestitku povodom ove divne proslave sa našim željama da vam Gospod podari dug život i krepko zdravlje na slavu Božju i dobro naše svete crkve i našeg srpskog svetosavskog naroda. Dolgodenstvuj, preosvjašćenjejši vladiko, na mnogaja ljeta.
When IOCC started, Bishop Irinej was a part of that, along with his counterpart in the Greek Church, Metropolitanate. Then, that wasn't then. But our first banquet was in 1992, and he called me and said, "You have to be on this banquet." And I wasn't sure I wanted to be, but you don't say no to Bishop Irinej, so I went, and here I am, 19 years later, still on that committee, because I felt Bishop Irinej put me there, and there was no way I was not going to continue. But it's a wonderful committee. IOCC does wonderful things, and so I actually have him to thank for that. And I know he himself, I'm sure, still discusses IOCC, because it means a lot to all of us Orthodox. We're blessed to have it.
Bishop Irinej, I would just like to thank you for your involvement in our church school program here at Holy Resurrection. Certainly made an impact on all the lives of all the children that you touched over the years with your programs, your spiritual guidance, your fun personality. It has just meant so much to all of us. So there are so many children that even to this day will say, ask about how you're doing. And I just think it's wonderful that you were so involved. I cherish you as a friend, and I love you.
Your Grace, it was an absolute joy to be there in Sydney and to participate in your enthronement 5 years ago. I send you warm wishes and the best of regards on this great jubilee, not only for you, but also for the Australian Serbs. And we all send you warm greetings from Chicago, which is, at the end of the day, the center of Orthodoxy in the Serbian diaspora.
Yes.
God grant you many years.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're missed, but you're in our hearts and souls. And yeah, I love you very much. And all the best to you always. And everyone there too. Thank you so much for all you've given.
Hajde Jano, kolo da igramo. Hajde Jano, hajde dušo, kolo da igramo. Opa! I mi jesmo igrali kolo zajedno, kume. I wish you the greatest happiness, the greatest success, a lot of endurance, a lot of patience. Well, you know, you're going to have to cut this. I didn't know if you would make it this far, but you have, and I know you're going to make it even farther and beyond. You're leaving a good mark for us Serbs throughout all the world. We love you. My family loves you. Iz Like I iz Chicaga. Sve najbolje.
Imos thank you very much, Your Grace, Your Eminence, distinguished clergy, and I acknowledge my parliamentary colleague from Federal Parliament here tonight, Bronwyn Bishop. I'm delighted to see Bronwyn amongst us. My earliest involvement with the Serbian community was at Mona Bay. I had a very dear client working in Warriewood, working the ground, I think. And it meant that I had a very early association with the Serbian community that I know Bronwyn continues. Can I say how delighted I am to be here with Gabriel Upton? I don't know that I can equal her presentation, but can I say I'll have to marry a Serb, I think, but after 41 years, I don't think I'm available. Can I acknowledge Linda Burney, and also Casuscelli, and can I acknowledge, if I can find him, Charlotte Messelman, who is also here tonight. This is a very important occasion. In my very early years in public life, I was familiar with the schism in the church. I have to say, here in Australia, the pre-Serbian Orthodox were well known to many of us. And it's a pleasure, I think, to see that the political unity that has emerged has enabled a schism to be healed. And I know that this is to commemorate the final acts that have brought the Serbian church here in Australia together. And that's a great privilege to be here with you all, knowing that you've had very important meetings over this weekend. For me, the Serbian community reflects something of what is Australia. A commitment that people make when they come here to being Australian, but not forgetting their roots and their heritage, and being able to share it amongst others. And for me, with a more Anglo-Celtic tradition, to know something of the Orthodox and to recognise that the Serbian Orthodox is the second largest Orthodox community here in Australia. It is your sharing of your experience in a different tradition that makes us here in Australia a richer community. But I also know that Australia has been the home for those that we've heard spoken about tonight that were settlers in the 60s and so on. But for me, my linkage with the community reflects something of a more modern tragedy that befell your home. And certainly I was glad to be the Immigration Minister in 1997 who had the opportunity to see something of the start of the rebuilding of the nation of Serbia. I saw many of those people who'd been displaced and were refugees, and I was pleased to help see that Australia have provided a home for many of those people displaced and who were unable to be otherwise accommodated. I was reminded that I visited Serbia again, and I was told I was the last Australian minister to do so in 2002. I'll have to try and correct that and give you more frequent visitors in the future. But I had the opportunity then to drive through the Krajina region and see something of the devastation that led to the displacement of so many people. And And so for me, I feel I've walked the journey with you. And it's a great privilege to be here when you are, as fellow Australians, participating in a very significant celebration in the life of your own church. That you allow us to share that with you makes it a very special and unique occasion. Your Grace, we thank you for your leadership, but we thank you very much for the contribution that you are making to the community's future here in Australia.
Odrastanja sa ocem Srbinom u dalekoj zemlji na severu Arnahema, Ursula Jović postala je jedna od najslavnijih izvođača u skali. Ona je nedavno dobila 4. Helpa nagradu u trci sa Kate Blanchett, Robin Nevinom, te nagradu najbolji kabaret za njenu predstavu Svaka bluza. Ursula je igrala značajnu ulogu i u igranim filmovima slavnog reditelja Baza Luhrmanna. Oduševila je publiku sa svojim živim nastupima u Sidnejskoj operi, sa Queen Elizabeth Hall u Londonu, također je oduševila publiku. Ursula je trenutno priprema predstavu Bloodland koja se otvara u Sidnejskom teatru. Privilegija i zadovoljstvo mi je da najavim ovu izuzetnu damu koja je večeras sa nama. Dame i gospodo, velika nam je čast što je Ursula večeras sa nama.
Hello. Thank you. I'm really excited and nervous of being here. I've always wanted to be connected to my father's people, so this is a step in the right direction for me. And I'd like to thank His Grace for inviting me. This first song is Do I Belong, which is about connection to country and people and language, because I don't actually feel a connection to either my mother's or my father's in regards to language, but in spirit I do. Do I belong? Thank you both. This place, it lies deep inside of me, like the river flows, it twists and turns and moves me. She's a mother's arms, a mother's smile, and a mother's breath of life. And yet I don't know her name. I don't know her face. We are Valentine. Feel the endlessness when you look into the sky, and feel the earth beneath my feet, breathing me to life. And yet I don't know her name. I don't know her face. Yaka, we Thank you. Hvala, hvala. No, this is just a child, which is for my siblings, my brothers and my sisters. If there's a way to take back everything that's done, oh, I would be there, I'd be there. And if there's a way for me to ease your pain and mine, oh, I would hold you, yes, I'd hold you. Don't think I didn't care for you enough, 'cause I'm just a child who's growing up, and all I can give you is love, love. If there's a way for me to let you live your dreams, oh, I would send you, and I would let you dream. Don't think I didn't care for you now, As I was just a child who was growing up. Oh, and I would give you more. If there's a way that I could love you more, it would be my only joy to build you up to be everything that you were meant to be. But all I can give you, I can give you. Can give you in love. I will give you love, I will give you love, all I can give you is love. Thank you. Thank you. When I first met His Grace, I told him I remembered a little hymn from when I was a child. I think I might have been, 8, 9, 10-ish, and I sang a little bit for him, and I learnt another verse, so I'm only going to do 2 verses, but this is for you. Hymn to Saint Sava, and the reason why I'm doing 2 verses is for fear of mispronunciation. And mixing up lyrics. At the moment, I'm learning a whole play in another language. So I've been going to bed with this language and Serbian, kind of having arguments as I'm going to bed, sleeping. So please forgive me if I do make a few mistakes. Inte salva. Thank you. Am I doing the right one?
Dobro večer. Hvala. He taught me in Darwin. Small world. Thank you, Father Nikolai. Bye. Good night.
Planine su više u mom kraju, čovek lakše diše, to svi znaju. Mesece ja življe, krivine su krivlje, a zime su sivlje u mom kraju. Svi se lepše smeše u mom kraju, više se i teše, a i kaju. Rodne bliže kruže, godine su duže, provalije su uže u mom kraju. Džepovi su plići u mom kraju, pijanice već dižu graju. Konje se teže preže, kola krivlje beže. Svi se češće ježe u mom kraju. Bučnije su svađe u mom kraju, kelnerice slađe služe raju. Muževi su sleplji, krepki momci kreklji, lepo leklji u mom kraju.
Znaš li odakle si, sine, pogledaj planine sive, sveti likom sveće procvalo, šumadijom sunce zasjalo. Ovo je Srbija, obore grobovi ratnika i slavnog vremena. Ovo je Srbija, obore grobovi ratnika i slavnog vremena. Cvetovi kao od vina pevaju pesme danina, odjekuje kao nekada, kraj vide sad svetih livada. Ovo u tebe druge, vidjet ćeš krajeve druge, ponesi odavde jedan sen, nek svi vide, nek zna ceo svet. Ovo je Srbija, govore grobovi ratnika i slavnog vremena. Ovo je Srbija, govore grobovi ratnika i slavnog vremena.
Kiša pade, kiša pade, te morava dođe, te morava dođe.
I would now like to take this opportunity to invite the Very Reverend Archimandrite Gabriel to present a gift from His Eminence Archbishop Saint Irenaeus, Archbishop of the Greek Orthodox Church of Australia, to His Grace Brother Gabriel. on the town already. So, it's a very popular man. There is a large Greek community, so I'm sure he had other obligations. But I could also invite Mr. Mildred Gersic from Rockdale to present a gift to His Grace from the Mayor of Rockdale City Council, Bill Sabanovsky, and if you'd like to take this opportunity to go to His Grace now. And finally, I'd like to call on Mr. Peter Kozlina to present a very special donation to His Grace from the management here at
It's a check in the sum of $3,300 in sponsorship to the diocese from this esteemed establishment. Thank you very much.
Dragi Vladika Irinej, molim vas pridružite nam se na scenu.
Ladies and gentlemen, please advance to the Lord's Grace. We'll come and say a few words now.
After such a resplendent evening of song, of music, programming, I think it would be best and most exceedingly proper if I heed the words of Bishop cum Saint Nikolai Velimirovich, who stated, "When the heart is full, the tongue will stammer, and there is no need to speak whatsoever." However, I must speak. I begin by acknowledging and ask you to join me in giving a wonderful round of applause to our beautiful host and hostess for this evening, Mr. Stefan Popovic and Ms. Vanya Petrovich. I would say that they are the very epitome of our beautiful Serbian youth. Your Excellency, Ambassador of the Republic of Serbia to Australia, Mrs. Neda Maletic, representing the Honorable Tony Abbott, Leader of the Opposition, the Honorable Philip Ruddock, together with his wife, Heather, the Honorable Bronwyn Bishop, and she is the representative for the area where we have our pro-cathedral church of Saint Sava in Monavale. Thank you for all that you do for our Serbian people there. The Honorable Ms. Gabriel Upton, together with her husband Alexander Shundic, thank you for your lovely remarks this evening. Mr. Charles Casuscelli, representing the Honorable John Robertson, Leader of the Opposition, the Honorable Mrs. Linda Burney, who also spoke this evening, thank you for being with us. It's a joy to have you. As you see, we have our own Aboriginal Serb in the wonderful person of Ursula. Muslim, and I take this opportunity to welcome indeed my beloved brother in Christ, His Eminence Archbishop Paul of the Antiochian Orthodox Church in Australia, New Zealand, and the Philippines. Your Eminence, Shukran Said Nabulos. It's good to have you with us. And then this evening we had with us, but now he has had to leave us, the very Reverend Archimandrite Kyrillos, who is representing His Eminence Archbishop Stylianos of the Greek Orthodox Church. We also have with us our dearly and beloved friend, the very Reverend Proto-Presbyter, Dr. Michael Protopopov, representing His Eminence Metropolitanate Day Celebration, the first hierarch of the Russian Orthodox Church abroad. Dobro požalovat, Batushka. Это наша самая большая радость. If I may say a small secret about our beloved Father Michael, he was born in Belgrade and lived there, I believe, until he was 10 years of age, so we may rightly claim this as one of our own. His Excellency Mr. Branko Radošević, Consul General of Serbia here in Sydney, welcome. His Excellency, Mr. Vasilios Tholios, together with his lovely wife, Theodora, the Consul General of our beloved sister nation of Greece here in Sydney. Σας ευχαριστούμε για την παρουσία σας εκ μέρους των Σέρβων, οι αδελφών σας υποβάλλω τα σέβη και την αγάπη μας. Kao što se kaže u Srbiji, kada smo bili bez igde ikakvog i jednog prijatelja, prvo Bog na nebesima, zatim Grci na zemlji ovoj. Thank you. Mr. Morris Hanna, together with his wife Margaret, and the Councillor Mr. Victor Macri. Also representing Councillor Bill Saravinovsky, the Mayor of Rockdale, Mr. Pescic, who gave us this wonderful citation this evening. And please join me in welcoming the resplendent Miss Ursula Jovic, award-winning actress and singer. Also the exceedingly elegant and beautiful of song, our own Serbian diva, Milijana Nikolić. Welcome, Milena. From Belgrade to Rome to Milano and here among us Serbs in Sydney, truly we have come of age, and I believe this evening is indeed proof positive of the same. Also, I would like to welcome Mrs. Mirella Burda, who is here representing Yacht Airways, who take care of all of my tedious travel plans wherever I have to go. And it's not easy because I make arrangements and then have to change them many times over. Your patience and love are indeed appreciated. Dr. Tim Brooke, the adjunct lecturer from the Australian National University in Canberra, and Mr. James Shipstone, composer and songwriter. Please join me in welcoming them as well. I also thank Mr. Alexander Zhivkovic and Ms. Sabrina Sistermans, who played this evening's entertainment together with their father, Professor Zhivkovic, who joined us on stage to perform. And my beautiful, beautiful children, who sang this evening from the St. Lazarus Children's Choir, Detso Živela. I would also like to thank, and I would be entirely remiss if I did not mention, and indeed from the heart, from the very heart, this magnificent Lazarica Church Choir. I have never in my life met a group of individuals who offer so much to me from their hearts. I cannot express with my impoverished words the appreciation that I feel for these wonderful people who have traversed with me all across Australia, and we have big plans up the Lugda. We intend to go also to New Zealand. We're going to go to South Africa. We are going everywhere. Let the world prepare to hear what Serbs of Sydney have to offer. As you know, we celebrate this evening a wonderful cause for joy, because the Serbian Orthodox Church and her people were devastated in the early 1960s by a schism which tore asunder the very fabric of our church. Here we were trying at the same time to integrate ourselves into the life and into the very fabric of this wonderful nation of Australia, into the magnificent nation of New Zealand, and yet we were fractured. We were not one. We became united in 1992, when the Lord God himself gifted us, unworthy though we be, with a saint for a patriarch, His Holiness Pavle, of blessed memory and blessed repose. Through the efforts of this man, who was diminutive of stature, but wider and greater than the world itself, which could not contain his very person, he brought us back together, and he united us sacramentally and spiritually, and slowly the deep wounds which had festered for nearly 3 decades began to heal. But then we had the daunting task of having to put ourselves together administratively, which is a much more difficult and tedious task. It meant, among all else, writing a new constitution, one that would satisfy the once fractured halves of the Serbian Church and bring us together as one family. This, with God's help, after 3.5 years of diligent work, we managed to accomplish last year at a celebratory assembly of our clergy and laity in Melbourne. This year, with God's help, the Holy Assembly of Bishops, the highest legislative body of the Serbian Orthodox Church, saw fit to honor the Serbian Orthodox people of Australia and New Zealand and to elevate the once fragmented diocese to the dignity of a now united and fully unified Serbian Orthodox Metropolitanate of Australia and New Zealand. This is the gift of our Church, of His Holiness Patriarch Irinej and the entire Assembly of Bishops, to you, my beloved faithful. And as I told His Holiness Patriarch Pavle, following my consecration, Vaše svetosti, hvala vam od sveg srca što ste mi podarili ovaj dobar narod u Australiji i na Novom Zelandu. Zaista nema takvog dobrog naroda nigde na svetu. To od srca vam kažem i od srca tvrdim do današnjeg dana. I told His Holiness, I thank you for giving me this wonderful group of people, the Serbian people of Australia and New Zealand. I stated those words then 5 years ago, and I hold to them to this very day. You are a gift of the Serbian Church to me and to my heart, and I have chosen to treasure you in my heart, and those words resound true to this very day. And so this evening is a gift, not to me, but through me to each and every one of you, and I pray that you will receive it as such. Many people worked to bring this day to fruition, and before I single out somebody, I would like to ask a lovely young lady to join me here at this podium. Would Miss Tijana Ilić please come to the stage?
Your Grace, Bishop Irinej, special guests, ladies and gentlemen, we found out that Tata would be receiving this award, the St. Irenaeus Medal, a few weeks ago, but we decided to keep it a surprise. This award recognises contribution to the Serbian Orthodox Church. We'd like to thank Bishop Irinej for considering Tata work. We're so excited and appreciative because we know how much Tata values his work. For the Church, the St. Salva College, St. Simeon Retirement Home, and everything else that we have all in some way been involved with. We don't know what perception you have of Randall Village at home, but we are pretty sure that it's different to the one, that you have of Randall Village, but we are pretty sure that it's different to the one that we have at home. It can be very spontaneous. When Djokovic won the Australian Open for the first time in 2008, Tata promised that if he got into the finals again, he would take us to Melbourne as a special trip. We weren't sure if it was serious or not.
To our surprise, 3 years later, Djokovic won the semi-final. It didn't take us long to jump on the opportunity and remind Tata of his promise to us. I remember being out with some friends that night, and at 2 a.m. I got a phone call from home. Tiana, you have to come home right now, we're going to Melbourne in a few hours. He had miraculously found some tickets and booked flights. It goes to show that Tata always sticks to his word. When we were on holiday walking through a museum, Tata was talking to us about the history of painting. Very soon, tourists started to gather around us, thinking that he was a tour guide. I think this happened a few times in our trip. When we were little, Tata would pretend to be a horse. But of course, before we could ride on his back, we had to saddle him up. So he would stay on his hands and knees for more than an hour while we ran around the house making saddles and stirrups out of everything we could find.
As well as having a lot of fun with us, Tata has taught us some very important lessons. The importance of education, to always be willing to learn new things, to get involved in as much as we can, to be kind to everyone and to work hard. We know that so many people in this room have contributed a lot of themselves and dedicated their time to the church. Thank you. We hope you have a great evening and happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day indeed, Tata. Would you please come to the stage together with your lovely wife, Sophia? Please.
Na predlog njegovog preosveštenstva, episkopa Australijsko-Novozelandskog, gospodina Irineja, Sveti arhijerejski sinod Srpske pravoslavne crkve dodeljuje gospodinu Stevanu Rendonu Iliću iz Sidneja visoko odlikovanje Srpske pravoslavne crkve, orden Svetoga Save drugog stepena. Za delatnu ljubav prema Svetoj Majici crkvi, naročito pokazano njegovim stručnim pravnim savjetima i velikim doprinosom u izradi nacrta Ustava Mitropolije Australijsko-Novozelandske Srpske pravoslavne crkve. Božijom milošću, arhijepiskop Pećki, mitropolit Beogradsko-Karlovački i patrijarh Srpski, gospodin Irinej.
It is my distinct pleasure as your hierarch and your father to be able to present this evening the highest distinction of the Serbian Orthodox Church, the Order of Saint Sava in the second degree, issued by the Holy Synod of Bishops of the Serbian Orthodox Church under the hand and signature of His Holiness Serbian Patriarch Irinej to Mr. Stevan Rendon Ilić. Axios! Svetoga Duha, recite svi amin. Amin.
I'm surprised. I probably had given a chance would have something more worthy to say, but I'll take a sentence out of Your Grace's introduction tonight and just take from Bishop Nikolai Velomirovic's comment that I guess there are times when words fail and the heart says everything. And this is one of those times. And everything I've given to my church from the time when I was a little boy has been given from my heart. And it's something that means very much to me, and it's something that's organic to who I am. And everything I've done has not been done as a job or as a work, but as to me a calling, and for me as something that I just do as I breathe. So I have this award, but I wear it. I don't know. I don't feel that I really deserve this award, but I thank you for it, and I thank you all, the many of you in this room that have worked with me over the years in many different endeavours, in many things that we've done. Thank you all very much, and thank you, Your Grace, for honouring me tonight. And thank you, girls. I don't know why you needed to tell the horse. And thank you to Sophia.
Thank you very much. I think this is a very worthy Father's Day gift to our beloved Brandon Ilic for all that he has done for our Holy Serbian Orthodox Church. I would also like to thank Mr. Petar Kozlina, who has been the chairman of this august committee who's put together tonight's splendid evening. And in the end, I would also like to recognize that we have here with us a delegation from Republika Srpska, which has joined us from Bosnia and Herzegovina to be with us. Dobro nam došli, živi bili. Molimo vas da ustanete i da primite aplauz od ovog našeg vjernog i dobrog naroda.
Irinej, Božjom milošću episkop mitropolije Australijsko-Novozelandske Srpske pravoslavne crkve, za posvedočenu ljubav, pokazanu veru i sav uloženi trud oko bogugodnih dela na njivi Gospodnjoj i nesebičnom pomaganju pravoslavnoj crkvi, dodeljuje arhijerejsku gramatu Momiru i Dušanki Vukoman. Neka bi dao Gospodu Trojici molitvama Svetog Save i svih srpskih svetitelja da se i dalje revnosno trudite oko svega što je istinski dobro, uzrastajući ljubavi Božjoj do mere rasta visine Hristove. Episkop mitropolije Australijsko-Novozelandske, gospodin Irinej, u episkopskoj rezidenciji u Sidneju septembra 2011. godine.
I što kažu, reči se izgube kad srce zaigra.
Zaista.
I nemam šta da kažem, ovo je iznenađenje za mene, hvala mnogo vašoj svetosti i nadam se da ćemo i buduće raditi što nam je od Boga dragoga zapovesti.
Hvala vam od sveg srca, živjeli.
Hvala, živjeli.
I na kraju, još jednom i od sveg srca, hvala vama što postojite, hvala vama što je Gospod Bog dodelio vas meni kao moju pastvu. Nemam reči da bih se mogao na adekvatni način zahvaliti vama za sve što činite za sve nas. Živi bili, da vas Bog čuva u svom zagrljaju i toplom zagrljaju od današnjeg dana i ovog našeg sveradosnog susreta do onog konačnog susreta u njegovo carstvo nebesko. Neka su molitve svetog Irineja Lionskog, mog zaštitnika, mog nebeskog pokrovitelja, sa svima vama. Amin. Bože daj. Hvala vam. I ask you in the end to please stand so that we can say a prayer in closing. Dostojno je Jakovo istinu, blažiti tja, Bogorodicu, prisno blaženuju i
Sinu i Svjatomu Duhu i ninje i prisno i vo vijeki vjekov. Amin. Господи помилуй, Господи помилуй, Господи помилуй. Владыко святый, благослови.
We thank you, Holy One, for this gathering. We thank you for the blessing you have bestowed upon our brothers, the faithful of this Serbian church. We ask you that your Holy Spirit be with them, direct them, illumine them, fulfill them to do the things which pleases you and glorify your name in this troubled world. We ask you to do that in the name of your Son, Jesus. Amen.